I used to believe that marriage got easier with time. That once the spark faded, something deeper, steadier, would take its place. I was wrong. Somewhere along the way, the love between my husband and me faded into silence. Not the comfortable kind. The kind that hums coldly between two strangers at opposite ends of a dinner table. We still shared a bed, technically, but I couldn't remember the last time he touched me, even by accident. The house was clean. The bills were paid. We existed more like business partners than lovers. I didn't realize how lonely I'd become until my stepson moved back in for the summer. It was supposed to be temporary. Just a few months until he found a new place. I told myself it might be nice, someone else in the house, some noise to break up the silence. And for a while, it worked. He filled the rooms with laughter and music. The energy shifted. I could almost pretend everything was fine again. But he wasn't the awkward teenager I remembered. He had grown into himself, confident, composed. And sometimes, he looked at me in ways that made my stomach tighten and my fingers twitch to smooth my hair before going downstairs. I hated myself for noticing. Blamed it on years of being invisible. Of being untouched. Nights were the worst. Lying beside a man who slept soundly, unaware of the hunger gnawing at my chest. I didn't want anything dramatic. I just wanted to be seen. To be wanted. Was that really too much to ask? One evening, after my husband left on yet another work trip, without a kiss goodbye, without even a glance, I sat downstairs scrolling through my phone. My stepson was stretched out on the couch, watching something mindless on TV. We joked about whatever was on, laughing a little too easily. It felt natural. It felt like something I hadn't had in a long time. When I stood up to say goodnight, he reached out and grabbed my wrist. Playfully. But he didn't let go right away. The touch lingered. And I felt it burn straight through me. I told myself I imagined it. Told myself I was being ridiculous. But that night, as I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, the memory of his hand on my skin lit every nerve in my body. And when I heard footsteps in the hallway slow, hesitant, I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. Pretended I didn't want to know. The next morning, everything was normal. He handed me coffee and smiled like nothing had changed. Like I hadn't felt his presence outside my door. I smiled back, pretending to. But something had changed. In the days that followed, we passed each other in the kitchen and let our hands brush, accidentally, purposefully. I told myself none of it meant anything, that it wasn't real. But every glance, every fleeting touch, chipped away at the walls I had so carefully built around myself. And then, one night, I found him downstairs again, alone on the couch, the TV flickering across his face. He looked lost. Worn down. Not like the confident version I'd grown used to. Just human. Without thinking, I sat beside him. We didn't speak. Words felt too heavy, too fragile. Our knees touched. My heart stopped. "I'm sorry," he whispered, voice low and raw. I should have walked away. Should have shut it down. But I didn't. Instead, I said what I'd been holding inside for years. "You're not the only one." He reached for my hand. And this time, I didn't pull away. When we kissed, it wasn't sweet or careful, it was desperate. Starving. Like we were both trying to fill a hollow space we'd carried for too long. I kissed him like I was drowning, and he was the only air left in the world. It wasn't love. It wasn't right. But it was real. We pulled apart, both of us breathless and stunned. Guilt slammed into me like a wave. But beneath it was something darker, something electric. Something I didn't want to lose. I pressed my forehead to his, just for a second. "We can't," I whispered. He nodded. Stood. Left the room without another word. I sat there for a long time, staring at the flicker of the television, heart pounding like it had forgotten how to rest. Outside, the world hadn't changed. But inside me, everything had. I didn't know what would happen next. If we'd pretend nothing happened. If we'd make another terrible mistake. I only knew one thing. For the first time in years, I felt awake. Alive. And no matter how wrong it was, no matter how deeply I hated myself for it, a part of me never wanted that feeling to end.